études supérieures de profession infirmière et technique de santé, abbreviated as ESPITS, and I'm based in Fez. So basically, I'm going to be talking to you about what medical laboratory is, what it involves, and the like. Yeah. So medical laboratory is a branch of medicine that plays a crucial role in the treatment, diagnosis, and management of a patient's condition. So basically, you find yourself working in a lab setting with a lot of other technicians testing and analyzing different kind of specimens. Yeah, for example, if you are looking at diabetes, you need to know the kind of diabetes, like the type of diabetes, and like the gravity of the disease. If it's a tumor, you need to determine if it has spread, all those things, how grave the situation is for a patient, and what kind of medicine can be used to treat a patient. So that's what you will be doing generally, and it involves a lot of things. Mainly I'll talk about like ESPITS phase because I'm in phase, so I've had a lot of experience here in phase. Yeah, and it's not any other ESPITS. So when you come here, like ESPITS phase, first and foremost, you won't be a lot in your class. I think the maximum number I've seen for people in a class is like 25. You won't be more than 25. Yeah. For me, my class was 17. So for the fact that you're not a lot in your class, the professors get to know you at a personal level, and you have to interact with the professors because that counts for your general moyenne at the end of the semester. Like your interaction with the professors, even with your fellow students, like they observe all that because you're a few in your class. And also you'll be doing a lot of exposés. Yeah, in like almost every subject they'll give you an expose. They say like exposés help us to learn to express ourselves, and looking at the fact that you'll be working in a lab setting with a lot of other technicians, you need to learn how to associate with people and stuff like that. So you do a lot of exposés in almost every subject. I think it's just like in your 6th semester where you won't do exposés, 5th and 6th semester. Yeah, but the rest you have a lot of exposés and the like. Then I was under the old system. So under the old system we had, okay, it's not really different from the new system. It's just that in the old system we had a lot of subjects packed in one module, but when you come now you have like maximum of 3 subjects, and you find maybe it's just one module that has like 3 subjects in it. So yeah, and like they've kind of like separated them, like they've kind of like separated the subjects, so it might look like you have a lot of things to do, but they've just generally separated stuff to make it easier, I think. I'm not very sure why that was done, but yeah, a lot of things have changed. So, but the subjects haven't changed. Yeah, the subjects are still the same. So you have analysis, yeah, and you have physics, yes, and a lot of other things, anatomy, bacteriology, microbiology. You find a lot of all these other sciences and stuff like that. Yeah, so basically that's it when it comes to like the classes and all those things. Then when it comes to stage, you have stage in your 3rd semester, your 4th, and your 6th semester. Then the first 2, like in your 3rd semester, you have stage for 1 month, and that's after you're done with your course. Yeah, you have stage for 1 month. The first 2 weeks you might find yourself working at the transfusion center where they'll teach you how to separate blood, how to determine, like how to separate the different blood components, how to determine blood groups, and how to test for different diseases like HIV, hepatitis B, C, and syphilis and the like. And then also you do stage for hematology at the hospital. Like for the transfusion center, that's the only time you won't find yourself like at the hospital. The rest of the stages that you're going to have in your other semesters, you'll be based at the hospital. Yeah, so that's like your stage in your 3rd semester. And during your stage, you need to like ask a lot of questions because they've taken you there to learn to kind of like get used with the work environment. So you have to be very willing to learn. When you just go and stand, sometimes the technicians will not come and tell you to say do this. So you have to go talk to them, you need to ask them questions, ask them what they do. Or if, for example, they put you to work with a nurse, you need to ask the nurse, so how do you know like this is the vein that you're supposed to inject? How do you know that, like how do you get different body fluids from a patient and the like? And they'll explain for you. There are a lot of people that you're going to find who are willing to help you. And yeah, so you need to ask a lot of questions, be willing to learn. You need to participate a lot, because if you just go and stand, you're not going to learn anything. You just have knowledge of the theory part, but then practical you have nothing. So you need to be very willing to learn. And it's sometimes stage might not be an easy thing, because you might find other technicians who are not like cooperative. They don't want to work with stagiaires and the like. So yeah, but because it's a lab, there are a lot of other people. If you find one or two people who are like that, you can go to other people and ask them. You'll find others who'll be willing to help you. So that shouldn't like discourage you. I found myself in like situations like that, where other people didn't want like to work with us, the stagiaires, and so we had to look like for other people. Then I also worked like with other technicians who people would say, no, me, I can't work with this one because they're like aggressive and stuff like that. But you need to know why you're there, and you find that the person they don't want to learn from is like the major, like the person who's on top, who's got even like more knowledge. So you need to be very humble. Even if they shout at you, they do whatever they want to do to you, but you just keep quiet. You're there to learn. You're not there to start quarrels with the technicians and the like. So you just need to be very humble, and even if they shout at you, you still go back and learn. And they'll like you for that, because they don't like people that answer them back if they're telling you something, even if to you it won't make sense. Yeah, you just have to keep quiet, be humble, and continue working with them, and life will be easy as days go by. So yeah, that's basically it for the stage. And then the method of validation they use at ISPITS, I don't know about the other courses, but for medical laboratory, you can only compensate for a module after attrapage. So that's like the normal session for the exams. If you haven't like validated certain modules, and you have higher marks in like other modules, they won't compensate. They only compensate after the attrapage. And like for major subjects or modules, you can only compensate for them if you have like 8 and above. That's the only time you can compensate for them. Then for minor subjects, it's 5 and above. Yeah, and you can only carry one module to go to the next semester. But if it's more than one, you can't carry. And the only way you can carry that module is if your general moyenne was above 10. But if your general moyenne was below 10, then you're going to repeat the semester, and which is just the same as repeating the whole academic year. Yeah. So that's like the method of validation that they use here in phase. I don't know about the other options, whether it's the same thing, because there are a lot of other options at ISPITS, but I mainly know about what I'm doing. So that's like how they do it. Yeah. Then it's a degree course. So after your degree, you'll be a technician. You'll be called a technician, a med lab technician. Then you can further your studies. You can do your masters. You can specialize in many other things, like in bacteriology. You can specialize in microbiology. You can specialize in biomedical science. You can specialize in biotechnology. Yeah, you can specialize in so many different things. You can specialize in anatomy, pathology, or you can specialize in infection and immunity. There are so many things that you can specialize in. And after your specialization, you'll be a technologist, which is like a doctor of a lab. So you'll be like an what can I say? You'll be like a major. What's the name in English? You'll be like an overseer of a lab. You'll be like the boss in other things. Yeah, you have technicians working under you, but you'll be called a scientist, you be called a technologist, you can be called a doctor, you can be called so many things if you specialize, and your master's is only like for 2 years. Yeah, so basically that's it. And when it comes to like work and the like yeah, in Zambia there are a lot of job opportunities for medical laboratory because the country doesn't have a lot of med lab technicians, and so they are looking for people. And right now, like I recently saw, like someone sent for me, I recently saw something like med lab technicians are on high demand and you have a very good salary. Yeah, like when you go back home, you're assured of having a job because there's need for technicians in Zambia. So you're assured of having a job. And yeah, you have a lot of advantages. Generally, it's a very good course. Yeah, I found it very interesting, though at the beginning I didn't really like it because that's not what I was given when I came here. But as I did it like the first semester and then I went to my second semester, I started liking it. And you need to be very, very, very determined. You need to find what works for you, like the method of studying that works for you. If in high school you were someone who never used to study, you're not supposed to bring that mindset here unless if it has worked for you again, then you can move on with it. But yeah, you need to find different ways of studying. And as I said, you need to be very willing to ask for help. Ask for a lot of help because you really need it. You'll be learning in French for the first time, you'll be looking at different medical terms, things that you have never seen before, but then it's like you know them, you can know them if it was in English, but then because it's French, so you won't really know what it is. So you need to ask for a lot of help. And there are some professors sometimes who might speak in Darija, but that shouldn't discourage you because you can make friends with Moroccans and they can like explain for you. There are a lot of good people out there who will be willing to explain for you. Yeah, even just like your seniors, ask help from the seniors. Yeah, for me I would even go to the people who are doing general medicine to help me in subjects like anatomy, in immunology, and the like, in molecular biology. Like they helped me a lot. So you don't have to just like stick to people who are doing medical laboratory. You can even go to people who are doing general medicine because you have things in common, you have subjects in common that you'll be doing. And yeah, be very willing to ask for help and be very humble. And most of all, you need, like when you go to school, you don't need to have the mindset to say, okay, this one didn't make it, what if I fall into the same shoes like of the people that haven't made it? No, like go with a mindset of yeah, you need to have a role model. Yes, like if someone has made it, you look at them to say, okay, if this person made it, what can stop me from going, like from moving forward and the like. So generally school is hard in Morocco, but with God's help you can do it. You can do a lot of things if God is helping you. And if you're just very humble, be willing to learn, and yeah, make friends. Don't isolate yourself. Sometimes it might be hard to like make friends for it. Like for instance, in my case, I didn't have a lot of like people who are like my age mates when it came to the étrangers that were in my class. Most of them are way older than me, unless the Moroccans, they were the ones who were like my age mates. And at first it was kind of hard because I'm like very quiet. Yeah, but with time you have to realize that you can't make it on your own. It doesn't matter whether someone is big, whether someone is way younger than you or what. If you can learn from someone who's even younger than you and then go and learn, your purpose is to learn and pass. So even if the person is younger than you, you don't have to say, oh no, like they'll talk about me, they'll do what. Nah, be willing to learn. Don't look at things in a negative way, but look at them in a positive way. So that's basically it. If you have any questions, you can text me either on Messenger or any other platform. Thank you very much and have a nice day.